Malaysia's GDP in the third quarter of 2022 hit its highest at 14.2% compared to the second and first quarter. The strong GDP growth was contributed by robust and external demand as well as improved labor market. This is also driven by the implementation of Budget 2022 measures as well as the spillover effect from the transition to endemic phase, which resulted in more vigorous economic and social activities. Overall, the GDP expanded by 9.3% during the first 9 months of 2022.
One of the many economic indicators that has shown indication of progress is the unemployment rate, which continued to fall to 3.7% in third quarter 2022 from 3.9% in second quarter 2022. The labor market maintained its full employment level. According to the execution and continuance of different job stabilization programs as well as improved economic prospects, this decreasing trend is anticipated to last through the end of 2022.
Positive private spending and business outlook persisted as the main drivers of domestic demand. While the DOSM's business tendency statistic indicated a 4.7% confidence indication, the MER's Consumer Sentiment Index (CSI) increased to 98.4 points in Q3 2022 from Q2 2022's 86.0 points. The robust manufacturing sales, which climbed by 19.5% to 161.7 billion ringgit in September 2022, as well as the wholesale and retail trade sales, which increased by 23.9% to 134 billion ringgit, were indicative of this overall. From January to July 2022, there were 3.2 million more visitors than there were during the same period in 2021.
Which favorable foreign direct investment (FDI) performance, international trades continue to rise by double digits. Total commerce increased 42% to ringgit Malaysia 775 billion, while in Q3 2022, FDI totals ringgit Malaysia 12.3 billion, Q2 2022 RM 17.3 billion. The industry that drew the most FDIs were manufacturing, finance, insurance or takaful, and real estate, particularly from the US, Japan, the Netherlands, and Singapore.
As long as robust economic activity continued, banks' intermediation operations were healthy. Due to a significant increase in household loan disbursement for the purchase of homes and vehicles, outstanding household loans increased by 6.2%. This was due to the fact that loan demand persisted, even if some policies such as exemption from the sale tax on new cars had expired. In the meantime, the rise in outstanding company loans was 5%, with loan payback growth outpacing loan disbursement growth, notably in the non-SME group. Most lending objectives and company categories continued to receive a steady flow of loan applications, indicating a steadfast need for funding to sustain economic activity.
During third quarter of 2022, local retail sales contributed 577.9 million to the ongoing stability of local equity investment operations. Additionally, the local market raised 737.2 million through initial public offerings during the same quarter, despite a number of challenges including increasing inflation, interest rate increases, worries about the global economic slowdown, geopolitical problems, and supply chain disruptions. From January to September 2022, the local equities market had a net influx of foreign money of 6.6 billion, with the majority of the shares coming from international institutional investors.
The exceptional economic achievement during the third quarter of 2022 implies that Malaysia's GDP is on track to surpass pre-pandemic growth in 2022. This projection is supported by an expansion in domestic demand, mainly from household spending in line with the recovery of the labor market and income prospects. In addition, the contribution of the tourism-related sector to domestic demand is expected to recover following an increase in the number of tourist arrivals.
Additionally, the rise in visitor numbers is anticipated to result in a recovery in the sector's contribution to domestic demand. The economy will be further strengthened by the acceleration of infrastructure projects with significant multiplier effects, substantial growth in private investment, and strong external demand, particularly from important trade partners.
Malaysia's economic prospects are reliant on changes in the world economy due to its largely open economy. Business operating and input costs may increase as a result of economic pressures, most notably an increase in global inflation brought on by ongoing price increases in commodities, food, and raw materials, as well as persistent supply chain problems partially brought on by the tension between Russia and Ukraine.
Moreover, the potential of tighter global financial conditions and an increase in the cost of living might make the recovery efforts more difficult. Malaysia's economy has begun to feel the consequences of the global downturn, particularly those coming from the developed nation.
With good microeconomic fundamentals, stable financial conditions, and a broad-based and diversified economic structure, Malaysia's near-term growth forecast nevertheless remain positive.
For Malaysia to continue to be a desirable investment destination and to support more sustainable and inclusive economic growth for all, various actions will be taken to increase the nation's economic potential.